Anyway, sorry, where were you going?
So I was going to go. We were talking
About
Hamilton.
the New Zealand.
So we're going to
the New
fast
Zealand
forward
Revolution.
back to the Cuban Revolution
Oh,
and just talk about the chap, Shay. Fascinating chap. Fascinating. I know.
Cuban Revolution.
I know a thing or two about him.
Mm.
I'll tell you about him. But first, let's talk about my facts. Che Guevara played fly half.
He does. I mean, he certainly had the build for it. Certainly had the build for it. He wasn't a prop. He wasn't a prop.
But why would he play rugby?
They all play
Fly
rugby
half?
in South America. They do. Isn't Chile going to the next World Cup?
Sure.
I think they are. And Argentina, obviously. So yeah, there's a history of rugby down there. Why not? Maybe he went to school in England. I don't know. But I'm prepared to say yes, he has the body of a fly half. Fact.
Well, actually, you're spot on right. He did. I thought it would befuzzle you. But do you know where he's from? Do you know where he was born?
No.
Argentina.
Oh, there
He's
you are.
Argentinian. And his lineage is on his, I forget which parent's side, one of them,
Yeah.
is Irish.
Bit of a meddler though, isn't he? Old Che Guevara.
Yeah.
You know, it's like if you or I
Yeah.
decided to put on a beret and go and cause shit in Angola and Namibia and Mozambique, cause a bunch of revolutions, overthrow people, get places named after myself, and then have a cute movie of where I ride around South America on a motorbike.
Is that,
Yeah.
is that with Benicio?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think you see, the thing is, he's not just riding around looking at the difficult circumstances of South American populations. He, I think, the cauldron of his conscience, isn't that lovely, was complimenting myself again.
Yeah.
The cauldron of his conscience
I
was.
swear, it just takes 2 beers before you start doing that. You see him after 9. He's just lying on the floor in his own vomit and talking about how great he is.
He came from clever parents who were quite wealthy and not didn't have a lot of time for sort of religion, but it was more sort of socialist and those kind of philosophers and stuff. And this was the cauldron of him. And then he rode around seeing the socio-economic squalor and inequality, and that fueled his thing for socialism. And he was a true believer, man, in the socialism. And of course, being Argentinian, great scholar at school, played rugby at school, played fly half.
I think the thing is, if you were Argentinian doctor in like the 1940s and 50s, there were suddenly a lot of doctors, German doctors, that showed up in your country and took all the jobs. So it's possible that he needed some socialism. He wanted to overthrow. Where are all these Germans coming from? They do have interesting books full of experiments, don't they?
Oh, man. And, of course, the recent FIFA Uncovered documentary on Netflix, which is ironic that it is...
We aren't sponsored by Netflix. I think people need to know that.
Released. No.
We just watch a lot.
Mention it. We reference it a lot as academic material. It was like it's running the same time as the Qatar World Cup, which is ironic because, you know...
I think they did it on purpose.
You're watching the footy and you're going, oh, this is wonderful footy, but oh my. And as a footy lover, I'm certainly complicit in all the...
Would Morocco winning it make up for the 45,000 people who died? Wow. That's a good question, isn't it? It wouldn't, but it certainly would make it better.
But I brought up the FIFA one because the FIFA scandal starts with the real corruption in '78 when Argentina hosted the World Cup. But '78, it had recently been overthrown by a coup d'état and hectic military authoritarianism and abuse of power and locking up and torturing dissidents. Is that the word? In Argentina, sort of like, call it 15 years after Che, you know? So that whole region is quite a political, military mess. Shame. Yeah, I love Diego. He died. He was a military
Forlan or Madonna?
Maradona. So, yeah, man, I just find but Che's whole, the conviction of, because he got disappointed in Fidel, who he said was softening to the Soviets and was pandering to them, and had lost the kind of his first love of socialism, and so then he got bored with Cuba and went around trying to overthrow all sorts of other governments, where he failed even in the Congo in Africa, and then was ultimately caught in Bolivia.